Hello everyone, I'm here with Dr. Briggs, who just completed another Freedom Awaits program, and he is now officially a member of the Freedom Awaits group, which is an ever-growing group. Congratulations there, Dr. Briggs.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on board with us.
Thank you.
Dr. Briggs has been in practice for 20 years. 15 of those years, he has worked with the PGA, the likes of Jack Nicklaus and all of his peers. He's got a well-established practice, and he has been doing decompression now for approximately 2 years, I think you told me?
About 2 years.
About 2 years. And he has reached the point, like so many of you out there have, that have got decompression tables and you've got into the business. You've either kind of reached the peak or you're ready to take it to the next level, one of the two. And then there's those of you who have just been looking into getting into decompression. So Dr. Briggs is at a point where he's ready to take his practice to the next level. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I would like to start off by asking Dr. Briggs to tell us how do you feel about this program?
I feel probably more excited today than I did when I first started on Wednesday. As you know, I've been looking at the program probably for 6 or 7 months, and finally made the decision to attend it, and I'm really glad that I did.
Beautiful. I'd like you to tell me and our audience here, the viewers I guess you could say, what does it mean to you? What is the term total practice freedom? What does that mean to you?
I'm sure I speak for a lot of people, but I think there's some things that regarding practice that each of us doesn't care for or wishes they didn't have to do, and based on what we've been taught this weekend, a lot of those things that we may not like or we may have had to address with dealing with insurance companies and things like that, we no longer have to. It's just a whole new system of completely practicing in a different way and without any limitations or having someone else tell us what we can or can't do, and that's a big part of that is freedom.
Beautiful. That's very well said. So, out of all the programs that are out there, and out of all the programs that you've experienced over the past 20 years, but more particularly those that deal with decompression protocols, systems, office systems, running a cash practice, how would you rate the Freedom Awaits program in comparison to any of those, and all of those, I guess, that you've done previously?
I don't think I can compare them. This is something completely different. The nice thing about this particular program is we've actually are seeing it at work, and which is completely different than seeing someone stand up in front of a lecture hall and saying this is how it's done or whatever, and knowing that probably isn't really that's the case. We actually are seeing it in a day-to-day way of it working the way that you say it's working, and it's nice to be able to see that being done.
Thank you. Now, you and I have talked several times before, a lot before you decided to do this program. In fact, you actually made a trip out here to take a look at everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you certain things about this program. Based on everything that I've told you, and now from what you've actually gone through and experienced, did I in any way, shape, or form ever misrepresent anything to you, or have I embellished anything to you from the very beginning?
Not at all, no.
Okay, good, thank you. Would this be the type of a program that you would have any problems recommending to someone else?
Not at all. If you're thinking about or doing decompression right now, if your interest is in patient outcome, improving patient outcome, this is essential.
Beautiful, beautiful. This is on a little bit different note, but think for a second when you first came out of school as a new student.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel this program, or do you feel like this program would benefit someone young, fresh, coming out of school, starting their practice up?
Yeah, without a doubt. If this is a program that someone is able to do right out of school, they'll be light years ahead of their peers at that level. So
good. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Is there anything, just to kind of be relaxed here and gather your thoughts, because really at this point in time, it's a point where basically doctors, there's so much information that doctors kind of hit the wall, so to speak, and you have to kind of sit back and gather your feelings, your thoughts a little bit, because there is a massive amount of information, and it's good information. And when you get good information, when you're listening to something and you get information, it's easy to throw away some of the stuff. But guess what? When you get all good information, you want to retain it all. And when you're trying to retain a lot of information that's good stuff, it has a tendency to become overwhelming. So just to sit back and be relaxed now a little bit. Is there anything that you think would be important for someone to know that is looking at this program and considering doing this program, but they've talked to a lot of other people, they've looked into a lot of other things? Is there any advice that you would give them?
Well, I guess the advice I would give is you have to understand where the direction of healthcare is going, and that is, as we understand insurance to be the way that it is right now, it will not be that way in the next few years. So, if you can develop a practice based on cash and flourish in that environment, then you better look into it.
That's very good advice, because I agree with you 100%. Okay, I have 2 more questions, and then I'm going to be through. First of all, is this program worth it? Is it worth the money? That's number 1. And number 2, after doing this program, you now have a concept, you now have all the materials, and you now have the support that you're going to need to do everything you need to do. Is there any doubt whatsoever in your mind that you will not be able to go back and put everything in place and be able to achieve a practice where you have total practice freedom?
Hopefully I can answer both those questions in one answer, and that is, if you're the type of person who can go back and implement what you've been taught, and everything, all the support and everything that will be given over the next year, it's well worth the cost. But that's each individual. If you're an individual who doesn't think that they can do that, you know what? There isn't any program, whether it's $5,000 or $100,000, that's going to be beneficial. But as far as this, the fee that you charge for this, to be quite honest with you, based on what I've learned, you may not be charging enough. So,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you all for listening. Keep watching, because we have new people we add all the time. Thank you.